Hey guys, welcome back. Still fighting this guy. It's not so bad. I posted my Animal Crossing video today, and people commented that they were excited. I was so stupid that I was like, how I started that video, like, oh, I'm so excited. I didn't really like how I did that, but I'm glad I did it, I guess. I want to talk about therapy stuff. Well, I slash at this guy's shins. Oh, my shins hurt. Ugh. Stop shooting arrows at my shins. She'll be fine. So yeah, I guess the big thing he keeps mentioning is like, you gotta assert yourself, and so I did that this week, actually. I did my homework. Oh, I'm almost dead. How do I... Is it triangle? Nope. Is it that? Nope. Oh, somebody healed me. I don't know who it was. Man, she dead. So I did assert myself this week because I went to the doctor. Oops. Last Tuesday, and the dermatologist, and he prescribed like some medicine for me. He prescribed 2 things, but when I went to pick it up, there was only 1 thing, so I had to call him back and be like, you did the 1 thing, but you didn't do the other thing. And I guess that is a big deal for me. Like, that's something I probably wouldn't have done before, and that's what I told him. Like, I said, like, there's like a 50-50 chance if this had happened like a year ago that I just would have just been like, yeah, I just need the 1 and I'll be fine without it. And he was he's like made a big deal about it. Like, yeah, good job, you did it. That was good. Like, for some reason, it is hard for me to like feel like I had really accomplished anything, because it seemed like such a small thing. And he didn't really help me feel better about it, but I kind of convinced myself, because I was remembering when I applied to my current job, I had to make a phone call to the hiring person, and it was really hard to do. I remember it took me at least a half an hour to make the call, and I didn't really have to say that much, but I remember writing it down on a post-it note, like, okay, this is what you say if she picks up, and this is what you say if it goes to voicemail. And I was kind of hoping it would go to voicemail, I guess. I just remember being really nervous. I think it took at least an hour to make that call. I had to do it a couple times, too. But making this phone call this week, it wasn't as hard. So I told him, like, okay, I can see progress there. Like, maybe just my problem is I'm making the time frame too short. So I'm thinking, well, if I had to make this phone call last month, I think I might have been able to do it. So it doesn't feel like there's any progress. But if I think about, well, 4 years ago, I had to make this call, and it was really hard. I think if I had to make that same phone call today, it would be as hard as making the call to the doctor, which wasn't that hard. It was still hard, and I still had to convince myself to do it. But I did it. Yay, I did it.
Oh. I didn't know you were awake, I swear.
Don't be afraid of me, I'm just a giant monster with horns. What am I?
Is this another prison?
No? I mean, I don't think so.
Then where am I? Tell me.
I beg your forgiveness and your blessing. I am but a humble servant. You're back in Haven, my lord. They say you saved us. The breach stopped growing, just like the mark on your hand. It's all anyone has talked about for the last 3 days.
3 days?
Then the danger is over.
The breach is still in the sky, but that's what they say. I'm certain Lady Cassandra would want to know you've wakened. She said, at once.
And where is she?
In the Chantry, with the Lord Chancellor. At once, she...
Look at that guy. He's got legs. Such long legs. Looked weird. Whoop. I get experience from reading. I didn't know that. I didn't read it. I guess I wanted to talk about how it's still hard to talk to him. I guess I want to mention this to him. That would be interesting to talk about. I mean, it's not his fault at all. Like, I just wouldn't, I don't feel comfortable really around anybody talking. It still feels, I wanted to say like, it still feels like unnatural to talk. Like, it's not something I should be doing. And I feel like I have to force the words out. When I'm here, I'm a little bit more comfortable talking. We talked about, like, for some reason we were talking about, like, if you went to McDonald's and, what are they doing? You got the wrong order, like, would you go back up and tell them and say, like, hey, this isn't right, I ordered, like, a cheeseburger and you gave me a milkshake or whatever. That would never happen. McDonald's never has milkshakes. Oh, everybody's happy now. And I said I would have a really hard time doing that. And we talked a lot about it, like, what's the reason? Why would it be so hard? And he kept asking me, and I kept trying to think of what it was. The thing that I eventually came up with was, like, that initial thing of everybody's working and, like, everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, the workers are working and the people are in line talking and being, like, ordering stuff. And that initial disruption of, like, hey, everybody stop what you're doing. I got the wrong order. That is the hardest part. That part, like, to break the status quo. Like, everybody's doing it and you have to be, like, to disrupt it. Like, that was the part that I kept thinking is, like, okay, that's the thing that bothers me the most. I don't want to annoy people. Like, I don't want to disrupt, like, they're all doing what they're doing, and I don't want to be the guy who's like, now you have to look at me and do what I want you to do. And it took me a long time to get to that point, so we didn't really talk about it that much. I'm not sure why I feel that way. Man, this cutscene will save me.
Chain him! I want him prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
So I'm still a suspect, even after what we just did?
You absolutely are.
No, he is not.
Someone was behind the explosion at the conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps he died for the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect,
You, and many others.
but not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The divine called to him for help.
So his survival, that thing on his hand, all a coincidence.
Providence. The Maker sent him to us in our darkest hour.
Refusal of the call. I have to get to my Joseph Campbell notes. one of the parts of the hero's journey is refusal of the call. So let's do it.
You realize I'm Canary.
I have not forgotten. No matter what you are or what you believe, you are exactly what we needed when we needed it.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope.
I'm gonna
of
sneeze
closing
again.
it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn.
Oh yeah, this is kind of
We will
cool.
close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order, with or without your approval.
I forgot there was an Inquisition in Dragon Aid's Inquisition. But that's like the whole point of the game.
This is the divine
And it's kind of fun.
directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers, and now no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
It is interesting that like the good guys are doing the Inquisition. Usually that's like what the bad guys do. I guess they kind of make it ambiguous, like, or maybe you can choose like if you're more violent or you're more like actually trying to help. I don't remember. I agree for now.
We'll see how this goes.
That is all we ask.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
Okay, I think I'll end there. Okay. Have a good day. I haven't been saying that as much as I should. Maybe because I wasn't feeling great. I guess I'm feeling a little bit better. Okay. See you tomorrow. What's happening? Pause it. I can't pause it. I don't know what's happening. Why can't I pause it? This seems important, but I can't pause it. Okay, let's watch this. So that's one deep V. I guess, do you get, like, have a choice to become, like, the leader of the Inquisition, and that's when you, like, sit on the throne and you make choices? That was my favorite part. I remember people coming to you with, like, their problems, and you had to, like, solve them as the king, or what, but you weren't a king, obviously. That was just the prologue. What? Whenever that happens, it reminds me of Paper Mario, because there's like a long prologue in that. I guess it's meant to be like, that was just the beginning, and we just started. Think about all the stuff you just did, but like, that was just the beginning. Okay. I went longer than I wanted to again. Have a good day. For real. See you tomorrow.